Hey guys, how are you? How's everybody? I hope in the time that you see this, you guys are all in good spirits. I hope that in the time you guys see this, you're having a blessed holiday with your families, in good health, and that that you're enjoying yourself, that everything's going good for you. Me personally, I've been out for a little while. Haven't really done anything because there's a lot that's going on in my family. Lost of people and loved ones, and things that I don't really need to or don't want to get into detail because it's personal, obviously. But nonetheless, I'll try to give you an idea so that you guys can kind of get the gist of where I'm coming from. Anyway, I'm gonna get right to it. This video is talking about my thoughts of DirectX, the show, and my disappointment with my comrade in the show, Kalei Da Scope. And me, I've never done videos naming names to anyone unless I feel that I have to personally address them from my point of view, and that you know they gave me really not another choice. And first, I'll start with the fact that one of the reasons I enjoyed doing DirectX is because of the uniqueness of the show, which was that it was celebrating gaming as a whole, but we concentrated mainly on being pro Xbox, right? And the reasoning for that is because most people out here in the YouTube scene just do hateful Xbox content. And there's really not much people or a lot of people out there doing gaming content that's positive Xbox, right? Other than a selected few, and even people, to the extent of now Mooch and Crap, for example, right? To name their names, not as a beef, but as an example, right? Because I respect what Mooch and Crap do as well. Same way I respect what Kalei Da Scope does. They feel the need that in order for them to justify that they're gamers, they have to show and prove in some way, shape, or form that they're neutrals, okay? And to be honest with me, to you guys, with you, the audience that follows me, I have all consoles. I've owned all consoles. I still do, more even before a lot of people that still don't or haven't, because they just don't care, right? Because they either don't care for the product or care for that, particular console for whatever reason, But I've always done my videos and my complaints or whatever I say to basically as constructural criticism. So when you see something like the word fanboyism, right? Fanboyism being thrown around in a way that it doesn't really resonate with the person that Kalei Da Scope, my friend, you are implying with me, right? Because that's what you mentioned the most in your video, and maybe possibly 100 or whatever. We're being fanboys. Well, everyone's a fanboy of something, just like you're a fanboy of Marvel, right? But keep in mind, I own every Spider-Man game, every single one. For example, right? When you mentioned the Spider-Man, that we don't agree. But the reason why I can say what I say is because I played them all, including the new one. And I also beat the new one, and you know that. Now, I can have a conversation about Spider-Man the whole day, and I will prove to you everything that is wrong with it and everything that's right with the other ones, or that they did better. Because it's not about graphics. You can't even compare graphics, for example, because it's a new game with a new engine. All the other games are based off older hardware. Even Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a port of the 360 game. It wasn't really utilizing the hardware, right? But Marvel was involved with all the games. So there's still the genuine quality of Marvel in the game, okay? So physics is not just something, for example, like you mentioned, that has to do with how a game feels. It's also how it looks. Just because a game may look one way, when you play it and it has the right feel, it has good physics. For example, when I told you that Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 are the best Spider-Man games as a whole package because they have everything that all of them offered in one package and delivered before the new one, which is true. And they did things before the new one did it in a whole bunch of different aspects. Now, if you would have seen my video with J-Long that we did for 2 hours critiquing all the stuff and showing it visually, then you would have known what we were talking about. But when you said that and reiterated in the video recently that you did, you just proved to me you never watched the video. If in Spider-Man, the new one, you just press the A button, right? And this is just examples, right? And he keeps swinging, and all you have to do is keep pressing A because that's all you do. And he keeps doing the physics by himself and moving. That's barely any use of control. If you can use both sticks and buttons and the control, like the thumbstick, to control your web slinging in Amazing Spider-Man 2, for example, then that means you have more control. So how am I going to say as a gamer that gameplay is the most important element, that I feel that a game is better just because you press one button and it does the work for you, basically, as opposed to another version of the game, right, that you control everything with multiple buttons that you got to keep pressing each time. Like the left trigger is for, or the right trigger is for the right hand, and the left trigger is for the left hand. And if you don't press it, he will fall and miss whatever it needs to attach to. And that was my point. That's as far as an example for Spider-Man. The same way you brought up God of War. The example of God of War, right? I've been a God of War fan all my life, since the first one. I owned them all. I played all the versions and the PSP. And the main important element of God of War is they give you control at all times, okay, of the highly hyper action scenes that you always got to press a button, do something with the analog stick, shimmy around, platform, go up. You're always in control of the super high octane scenes, which on the new God of War, you didn't do that. 90% of it is just, you see it. You press one button and it all plays out in front of you. And I'm talking about the high octane scene. I'm not talking about while you're playing the game walking. I'm talking about, regularly. That's what I explained to you, as I explained to you in the podcast. And because of that, it's inferior to the new one. The new one, I feel, is inferior. Okay? In that aspect. Okay? And that's something that I'm very vocal and vivid about. But I never got upset with you because you didn't agree with me. I didn't care because I respect you, first and foremost, as my friend. Secondly, that was what you felt. And that's fine. But when I say it's something that I feel it's inferior, I don't like, I can explain it detail for detail. And I will sit there and explain it detail for detail if it takes an hour, 2 hours, because it's easy to me, because I know what I'm talking about when I open my mouth. I know what I'm trying to say. It's not like I'm confused. Now, if you ask me, well, what about this? And I'm like, how many, then I can't give you an answer. Then you are completely right. I'm being a fanboy. And I'm hating. Even though I said that I'm a God of War fan and I own them all, a fanboy would have never played any of them and played the new one and still said it sucks. Why? Because it's not on Xbox. Because it's my preferred platform. I've never done that. Same way you brought up the issue, right, of Nier Automata, right? And Nier Automata was made by Platinum Games. Nier Automata is a good game, but it's not a 9.5 like you gave it. Not in my eyes. Why? Because the game, the graphics are not really that shiny, so didn't really feel like a high budget quality game. The story's, pretty good. It's not bad. But the best part of the game is really the combat. And in the combat doesn't really give you a super amount of different things you can do. There's a nice amount, but not super amount compared to other Platinum games like Bayonetta and Vanquish. You know, the type of feel and action-packed things that you do and different variations in gameplay. In Nier Automata, the half of the game is recycled from the first one when you play with 2B, just with the, android character, the boy character, which I forgot his name at the moment, sorry. It's basically the same thing, but from the perspective of him. They just rinse, wash, recycled, and then left the cutscenes that were not shown in the first half for the second half. So it felt like it overstayed its welcome because it felt more open world. The scenery really didn't change, and it felt redundant after a while, which a lot of games do, but it just felt redundant. And for an action game, it's hard because action games usually tend to be redundant to begin with. That's why it's better to scale them in level base because it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like Bayonetta, like Ninja Gaiden, like Vanquish, like Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Okay? So when I came into the DirectX, because Ghost Rider asked me, you asked me, yo, join us, because originally Wolf didn't want me on there for whatever reason. He even talked fallacies about me and lies, saying that I'm an opportunist when the guy never even spoke to me one time. He didn't even know me. And when Master Chief put him on blast, that was when he finally addressed. But he came in a party chat with Ghost Rider, trying to attack me like I was going to back away. But what he didn't know was that me and Ghost Rider spoke before that, and Ghost Rider told me, you will be a good asset to the show because you know a lot, you're knowledgeable, and you're experienced, and you bring a lot to the table, and you're good, well-spoken. And Ghost Rider treated me with respect and kindness. He got to know me first. So it didn't matter what Wolf said, Ghost already knew the type of person that I was. The same way me and you, when we first met in a party chat, we had a long conversation. We talked about so many things, and it was great. It was fun. So me, when I saw DirectX, I saw it as a great unit that no one else, and it made it unique because no one else was doing it. Because you guys had the balls, and you guys had the courage to stay by your guns and say, Xbox is better because of this, that. Xbox cares about their fan base because of this, and that. Microsoft is listened because of this, and that. And that's what DirectX for Xbox, right, stood for. And that's why I was proud to be part of DirectX. And I didn't say no when you guys invited me, right? And obviously with our camaraderie, knowing each other and talking, we all became good friends. At least that's the way I've always felt for it. I don't know if you think anything differently, okay? But DirectX show for me is an important part of my YouTube scene because it's something I'm proud of, is what I'm saying, right? I'm very proud of it, very proud of it. Because while everybody else looked at us like we're being a fanboy, we didn't give two shits. We said, then let us be fanboys. Now, if I have to kind of go into the whole idea, right, of why I'm disappointed with you, Kalei Da Scope, right? I'm disappointed with you. Now I'm going to explain why. I would have never in a million years done this because I don't like to make my personal life with my personal friends anyone's business. But unfortunately, this is not the first time you've done it to me. You've put me in a word, and I'm not saying you were disrespectful because I'm not saying that. You've never been disrespectful, but you put me in your conversation of your videos saying this, about this, as examples or whatever it may be. And now the worst part about it is when I seen the video you did, it almost comes off like you're trying to say that because I'm being a fanboy or because 100's being a fanboy, for example, right? You can't do it anymore. And all I can say to you is, number one, have I ever done a video saying, hey, Kalei Da Scope, you my boy, you my dude, but you're crazy. You crazy because you've never touched, you know, any of the games that I talked about, either from the indie space or whatever. Something that you're like, nah, I don't got time. I don't really like them. You never see me do that. And you'll never see me do it ever to you or anybody, because what you like, I respect as your friend, first and foremost. Secondly, what we talk about should be between me and you. Fuck everybody else in this YouTube scene, because there's a lot of fake people out here in the YouTube scene. You know it, and I know it. Fake, meaning that they just care about the lamplight, having the views, having the subscribers, and don't really value friendship. So my disappointment comes, and I don't know if I can speak on behalf of everybody, but I'm speaking on behalf of me, and I'm speaking on behalf, I can say also maybe of 100, because he came to me asking me what's wrong, and I don't want to seem like I'm part of this and didn't say anything, because I wasn't. My disappointment with you is, why didn't you come to me, Ghost, J-Long, 100 on the DMs, or called us in the phone, because you have my phone, you have his phone, and said, hey, guys, look, because with this, that, I feel like maybe you guys just too strung up in this, and we would have talked about it and try to figure something out. I kind of feel like I need to go my own way and do what I want to do. You think we're going to get mad at you with that? We would have been, no, dude, if that's the way you feel, it's unfortunate. We could talk it out, try to come to an agreement, or maybe an assessment, or maybe something that you may think about me or 100 in a different way. Then would have tried to clear it out, whatever, because it could have been a misconstrued or misunderstood. We would have never gotten mad at you or upset with you. I'm not even mad at you now, because I've always seen you as a friend. But what I'm disappointed is that you are my age, 43, right? I believe. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about your age, but as far as I remember you telling me, and you felt like you couldn't come tell me about, look, this, that, hey, 100, look, this, that. And again, I'm not talking for 100, but I know he felt kind of the same sentiment. That's why I'm bringing him up. When me and him spoke, and we tried to get in touch with you and trying to get in touch with Ghost, and we finally got a hold of Ghost or whatever the case may be. Because these people on YouTube don't need to know our business and our circle at all, because you basically made it public now, and now all the clowns, if they want to make fun of it and they want to talk more jazz about me, you, Ghost, Hunnit, J-Long, whoever else is part of DirectX, they're going to do it because you gave them the ammo. You gave them the ammo by not letting us know what's going on, talking to us behind closed doors, like friends supposed to do. And now your video comes off like you have beef or problems with us, when we don't have no beef. That's number one. Me, you, I said you were like family to me. I don't have no beef with you, ever. All right? Because not only are we from the same nationality, but we are from same roots in many ways. I also told you, okay, that you should never feel like you couldn't tell me anything when you had the misunderstanding with me with the shit with God of War, when I did the video for my boy Jorge. That's a fucking pony. And the argument was farther than that, was deeper than that, that you had no clue. But I wasn't going to tell you because that's none of your business. That's my business. Right? So I wasn't going to include you, but that's why I, tried to, reiterate it. I even came on live when you guys were on the air and told you guys about the time when I said that he was with me in the car, and I tried to show him, and I said, oh, look, this is my boy Jorge, the one I did the video about, because I was trying to prove to you guys that I wasn't lying, that I wasn't fake, that I wasn't lying, that I wasn't fake. Okay? So the disappointment comes from, I don't understand why you felt like you had to go do the video, make it public, talk about us as a group, our circle, right? When we've always told people on air that what we do is for the show, but we don't have no quarrels with each other. Because even if you didn't do the show, having any quarrels because I didn't get that from the video. To the person that's casual outside looking in, they're going to think whatever they want to think. And they're going to think immaturely. And they're going to think, oh, look, see, they were bullshitting. They were lying all along. Them niggas been hated each other. Or been having problems. My dude, for almost a month since we did the last show, we haven't spoken. None of us. Maybe 100 from time to time, or Tuckmaster that he called. And sometimes J-Long, because even J-Long has been staying away and hasn't really called because he was sick. And all kinds of other stuff that people don't even know. Because it's not their business. Okay? And never once did I get the impression or idea or thought that I was bothering you or hurting you or making you feel uncomfortable. But what I do know is that neither me or 100 or J-Long or Ghost, neither one of us has ever done a video bringing your name up and saying that we don't agree with you and you're crazy or you bugging. Because we would go to you directly to talk to you if that was what we felt. So because I don't like PlayStation the way that you do, even though I own it and I own every game and played almost every game, even if I beat them or not, that's irrelevant. I have sons that play it too, and I can watch. If I can see people play, if I don't want to play it no more and I don't like it, I'm not going to beat it and finish it. If I don't care, I don't want to play it. I want to finish it. So because I don't agree with that, you rather lose our connection with the show and friendship? Because I know you don't think after you said that you want to leave because you don't feel comfortable around fanboyism, that you think that we can do other things and be okay with it. Because that's not the way it works. I'm not going to feel comfortable. Because now I feel like you either feel threatened by me, angry at me, or that I'm an asshole, and I'm not saying you're saying this, okay? Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Or don't think otherwise. But what I am saying is that I'm not going to feel comfortable because I don't know how you feel. Because you didn't come to us, DirectX, and told us, I want to leave, guys. So newsflash to people, and whoever watches this. Kalei Da Scope never told us that he wanted to leave DirectX. We all found out, like the whole YouTube did, by him doing the video. We had no idea. None of us. Okay? If you, Kalei, would have came to us and talked to us in private, we could have came to whatever agreement it was and not put it on YouTube. I'm a very private person, dude. I don't like my business out to nobody. And I don't like people knowing what I do and I don't do. Even if me and you have beef, nobody would have ever found out from my end if that was the case. Because I would never make a video addressing you making beef. That's not what adults do. And I am an adult, just like you. Now, I don't know if that's, if I'm pretty sure that's not what you intended with the video. But I don't know if you realize we live in an era where there's a bunch of trolls and immature kids and people and gamers looking at this shit that we do. So they're going to think otherwise and they're going to flip it around and they're going to make it into something else. What they say, whatever they say matters? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. But I don't appreciate it. I don't like going to anywhere when I'm trying to do something that's fun and something for gaming. I have a bunch of dumb, immature kids, teenagers that don't get ass and all they do is spend all day trolling, talking shit, and making fun of me or my boys or whatever we do. I don't appreciate that. I don't need that. I got enough problems in the real world. And that is where I say I am disappointed with you. Okay? I don't have beef with you. I don't have no hate, no animosity. I never have, never did. I've always thought that we understood each other, like we always have conversations. You spoke your piece, I spoke my piece. I tried to see where you're coming from, and I tried to rationalize with you by explaining to you why I said what I said. Obviously, my rationalization and explanations were not good enough for you, I guess. But I'm not going to go do a video. Yo, Kalei Da Scope is crazy. I'm not going to do that. And you've done it already 3 times. Using my name. Why? You could have called me. You could have told me. Right on the phone. So now I felt the need. I have to do this. so that the public and the nosy people on YouTube that love drama, love stupidity, and love to twist things around, because never once in that video did you say we have beef and we have problems. Never once. But you know that's how they're going to skew it. I have to say my side, because for them to understand the whole picture, they kind of hear from me. And to be honest, they need to hear from Ghost, from J-Long, and even from 100. Because we were a team. And that's what team camaraderie is and means. Respecting each other for what we are and what we have to deliver in the show and to what we're doing together as a group. It doesn't matter if I agree with you or you agree with me, or if you agree with 100 and I don't agree with you guys, or if a Ghost Rider agrees with me and J-Lon doesn't agree with it. Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. It almost feels, and your video almost comes off like you're leaving us when we've never turned your back on you, when you needed us, when Wolf did the backstabbing he did, or when you were hurting in a time of need, we didn't turn our backs on you, or when you had beef with Black Bond that we fucking fought with motherfuckers in the comments for days, where they stalked us and did a bunch of shit to try to meme us. We stood by you because you are our bro, our family. The same way we were there for you, you could have trusted in coming to us directly instead of doing that video first. Just like I told you on the phone when we spoke about God of War. Why didn't you call me? And I would have told you. Because I don't want people to think that me and you were beefing. Because we weren't. We never have. And if we did, please tell me when. Because I don't know when the fuck me and you beefed, ever. On a video game argument? So what? You're my boy. That's the way I saw it. That's the way I've always seen it. Just like I argue with Chief sometimes. Just like I've argued with J-Long. I would never do that. So I'm sorry that you felt that you had to do it this way. But this video, I'm doing it so I can speak my side of it. And so people can see where I'm coming from. Because I don't want it to get misconstrued and dumbass drama start because people think that we and you have a problem. Because we don't. I know I don't have a problem with you. Not from my end. At all. And you never will. Because I'm not immature. I'm not childish. I'm not like that. And I know that you're not like that either. From all the times we spent together. Whether it was in a party chat or on DirectX. So I thank you for making me part of DirectX. I really do. It meant a lot to me. And I really never took it for granted. I really do appreciate it. You understand? And if the boys want to do the show, I'm be more than glad to do the show. I don't feel you have to leave. I don't feel you should have left. But if that's what you need to do, that's what we're going to respect. Because we're not going to force you to do something you don't want to do. That's not what we're about. That's not what DirectX is about. DirectX was about not sugarcoating shit, like you said. From day one. We did whatever we had to do, and it didn't matter what anybody fucking thought about what we said. We agreed, we disagreed, and it didn't matter. It was about bringing out the message from all our points of views and perspectives. And that's why I had mad respect for DirectX. You being part of that circle as well. So, I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you all the luck with whatever you're going to do from this point forward. You know, I just don't think I would be able to work with you in doing anything else because I would never want to feel like I'm making you feel, or anyone for that matter, uncomfortable. Or like I'm trying to outshine you. Or like I'm trying to be better than you. I can't have that feeling and thought in the back of my mind. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Especially now with somebody that I appreciate and consider a friend. I can't do that. So that's the only thing I can honestly be telling you. And I'm going to tell you here in the video so that you can see where I'm coming from. So nobody go later, oh yeah, he said this and then he said that. No, I don't do that. That's not me. Never been, never will be. And that's the reason why a lot of these cats out here don't like me. Because I don't play those games. I'm straight to the point. So I can give a fuck what anybody say about me. If we were in front of each other, whoever don't like me and talk shit, I bet you it'd be a different story. It's easy to talk shit through a video on YouTube or through fucking social media on a keyboard. Real easy. But that wasn't us. It never has been. We try to keep it about gaming, not about homo shit, talking drama with other people. We never did that, and you know that. We were never about that. Anyway, happy holidays to you, my brother. Happy holidays to all the rest of our circle, everyone out there. You know, I just wish you would have had the thought of coming to us privately, because you could have talked to any one of us. Why? Because we're all boys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't know why you felt the need that you couldn't, or if the thought even came through your mind, or what you were feeling at the time. But remember, we are all fanboys of something. But fanboyism, if I was a fanboy, I would have never played all the Platinum games. I would have never played all the Spider-Man games or all the God of War games. And yes, there have been bad Platinum games that people didn't really like. And even me, I vouched for them and said they were decent, but they weren't good enough. Not to the Platinum standard. Like Wonderful 101. Like Anarchy Reigns. You see what I'm saying? Like Korra. People hated that game. They gave it a 3. I think it's a solid 8 because I judge it based on what it is, a smaller indie title in the Xbox Live or Xbox One marketplace. So I play all Platinum games. Nier Automata is not a bad game. That never came out of my mouth either. And I'm not saying you addressed that saying that it was me, but Nier Automata is not a 9.5. It's a very cheaply made, flawed game. And the only reason why it has quality is because of Platinum game. Because the original one, no one even touched it. And it was a pretty decent game, or solid. And I own the original. I played the original. I didn't beat it, but I played it. My son beat it, so I know the story. Okay? And I seen my son beat it. But go look at those numbers. Same thing like Spider-Man. Ain't nobody gave 2 craps to Spider-Man games. And there have been very good Spider-Man games. Solid ones that do all the things the new one doing with the Batman Arkham setup and all that other stuff that people talk about way before the new one, and do it better. Graphics, you can't talk about that because it's the only Spider-Man game that exists in its creation in Next Generation. It's using a Next Generation game. And the bottom line is, Sony didn't make it. It was Marvel with Insomniac because they paid for it. So I'm not giving Sony credit for that. That's a stranglehold. Same thing with Nier. That was Square Enix that went to Sony to do the deal. Okay, because they're the leading platform. Square Enix then came out and said the stranglehold that Sony had with them all those years with games like the Kingdom Hearts series. Because they bought them out at the time when they needed it, and 13% of their shares were owned by them. So what happened? They said, you got to keep it in our platform. Do you think that's good for gaming? That's why I say Sony's garbage. That's not good for gaming. How is that? Same way they don't want to allow crossplay. Okay? Same way you can't game share unless you have a paywall. It's under a paywall, which people don't bring up. Okay? The same thing with God of War. God of War is just trying to be a mixture of what they did with Dark Souls, with The Legend of Zelda RPG elements. It's an RPG action platformer now. It's not an action hack and slash anymore. And that's my point. It was a hack and slash brawler for me with a story. It's supposed to be fun. I care about gameplay, not just graphics or story. That's a bonus. I've always said that, been very clear about that. Anyway, happy holidays all you guys. Love you very much. Thank you for your time. Kalei Da, Godspeed with you, and may he bless you with everything you do, bro. That's the best I can tell you from the heart. Be good.